Ça m'embêterait que tu emportes un autre. Tu le reconnais?
Greetings, everyone. Today I present to you a tale of a naive young lad enamored with a voluptuous and alluring hairdresser, desiring to marry her, the hairdresser's lover. The film commences, taking place in a quaint French town. A young boy at home dances whimsically and unconventionally to the radio before him. His peculiar movements incite suppressed chuckles. He is our protagonist, Anthony. At present, Anthony is merely a 12-year-old child. On this day, Anthony examines his barely grown hair in the mirror, swiftly descending the stairs. He grabs the money from his wallet and heads out. Anthony is off to get a haircut. He adores haircuts. In a secluded corner of the small town where he lives lies a barber shop catering exclusively to men. The owner is a beautiful foreign woman. The shop seldom has customers. Thus, Anthony can get a haircut without an appointment. Hairdresser and owner Chantal is a voluptuous woman with an undeniable allure. She is without a husband, yet has numerous admirers. Even young Anthony is no exception in falling for the seductive hairdresser. Hence, Anthony frequently visits the barber shop. A distinct fragrance fills the shop. The scent of floral shampoo mingling Anthony's favorite aroma is Chantal's natural scent. Her fragrance often bewitches him. Casual physical contact during haircuts also intoxicates Anthony. During this haircut, Chantal's clothing unintentionally opens, her bosom barely concealed. Anthony gazes at her enticing chest, his imagination running wild. Even after returning home that night, he still thinks of her pristine bosom. Since then, Anthony visits the barber shop tirelessly every day. However, as he cannot get a haircut daily, Anthony can only sneak peeks at Chantal working from the doorway. One evening, Anthony dines with his parents and family. His father asks what he wants to do when he grows up. Without hesitation, he says he wants to marry a female hairdresser. Upon hearing this, his father becomes furious. He immediately slaps Anthony. The father is a successful tycoon. He cannot believe his son would have such trivial aspirations. After being slapped, Anthony runs back to his room, locking it from the inside. His father realizes his mistake, apologizes profusely outside the door, promising Anthony can do anything he wants in the future. Young Anthony, hearing these words, feels as if he has won. He is sure he can marry Chantal. Anthony's infatuation with the hairdresser remains. One day, like always, he goes to the barber shop to watch Chantal work. But at this moment, an accident occurs. He sees Chantal lying motionless on a bed. Initially, Anthony thinks she is just sleeping. However, after a while, a small dog pushes her. Just as Anthony is puzzled, a group of people rush into the room. It turns out Chantal had accidentally passed away from an overdose. Anthony watches as her lifeless body is carried away. He feels his world collapsing. Chantal's funeral is held hastily. Anthony, of course, cannot attend. He secretly vows to marry a hairdresser as his wife in the future. As Anthony grows up, he continues searching for his other half. One day, while walking down the street, it is time for his haircut. This time he meets a hairdresser named Matilda. Upon first seeing Matilda, Anthony is captivated by her appearance and figure. Anthony sits on the sofa waiting for his haircut. Matilda brings him tea. As she bends down, her collar falls open. Half of Matilda's bosom is revealed. Anthony is mesmerized by the sight before him. In that moment, he is certain Matilda is the woman he has been searching for. He revels in Matilda cutting his hair. Her scent enchants him deeply. Matilda's breathy sighs echo in his ears. Anthony can no longer control himself. So, when finishing up the haircut, Anthony boldly confesses his feelings to Matilda. He blurts out, "Marry me!" But Matilda does not respond, for they do not even know each other's names. It is their first encounter. Anthony realizes his brashness. He immediately apologizes to Matilda. As he leaves, he is reluctant to part. That night, Anthony does not return home. He sits in front of Matilda's house, staring blankly at her window. Swiftly, Anthony returns for another haircut. Even though his hair does not need trimming, Anthony sits and waits. Matilda's reaction is as if she has never seen Anthony before. Although this disheartens him, he believes in perseverance. Finally, with his efforts, Matilda soon accepts Anthony's proposal. Anthony finally gets his hairdresser bride. However, upon learning his son is marrying a hairdresser, Anthony's father suffers a heart attack and dies on the spot. Anthony's mother refuses to attend the wedding. Yet, none of these deter Anthony's decision. Matilda has no family. In the end, with the blessings of Anthony's brother and friends, they hold a simple wedding ceremony in the barber shop. On the wedding day, unsuspecting customers still come for a shave. Matilda, wearing her wedding gown, agrees to shave the customers, sharing her happiness with them. The guests thank and bless Matilda. At this moment, Anthony starts the music and dances with Matilda. The couple's married life can be described as exceedingly sweet. They never miss an opportunity for tender romantic moments. Sometimes, while washing a customer's hair, Anthony secretly embraces Matilda from behind. Life continues, filled with warmth and fun. This is an unbelievably perfect couple, so perfect that it's hard to believe neither of them has ambitions. Anthony has no intention to conquer the world, and Matilda does not crave wealth and splendor. In this small barbershop, their business is not bad. Closing the shop's door, here lies their secret haven, making love, sharing conversations, sipping libations. They depend on one another. No one can disturb them. They don't need to worry about their livelihood. Those who enter their shop feel as if they have left the hustle and bustle of the world and entered paradise. Customers have their worries and complaints, but Anthony and Matilda do not. The couple does not argue. As their minds naturally understand each other, they have no children, for they have each other, completing each other's lives. They don't even need children to maintain their marriage. As for desire, their desire is like sunshine, healthy like two trees, naturally yearning for each other's body. No need for stimulation or maintenance. This is the kind of love that each of us dreams of, in the warm sunshine. It seems like there is never a winter in this city. Anthony only wants to be happy with the woman in front of him forever. They just want to look up and see their beloved sharing all their joys, sorrows, and emotions with the one they love the most. This time, a mother came into the barbershop with a little boy who didn't like getting his hair cut. The little boy strongly resisted the haircut. However, Matilda's soft whispers and gentle movements gradually calmed the little boy down. During the haircut, Anthony was there, dancing a quirky and humorous dance to make the little boy happy. Life went on happily and peacefully. In the years they spent together, their routine life had no ups and downs, until they had an argument over a trivial matter. Matilda was flipping through a magazine and said she saw a male celebrity whom she liked driving a Jaguar. Anthony had never liked this celebrity. This was the only unpleasant experience in their relationship. That night, both of them couldn't sleep. Anthony sat on the floor of the shop, chain smoking. Matilda came downstairs to find him and sat with him. So Anthony apologized to Matilda after Matilda forgave him. They sat quietly on the floor together, both of them smoking and looking out the window into the night. Then Matilda said she was thirsty and wanted to drink alcohol. Since they didn't have any alcohol at home, Anthony mixed some cologne to make a makeshift cocktail. The radio played music. The two of them indulged in alcohol and cigarette smoke. All the unpleasant emotions vanished in their intimacy music, cigarette smoke, and the jumbled alcohol. The two got drunk and collapsed on the floor until the morning. On a night of lightning and thunder, Matilda announced she would go out to buy yogurt, but her parting gaze seemed like a farewell. Anthony's expression grew heavy as well, yet he didn't chase after her. He looked at Matilda, looked at the rain, closed the shop door. Matilda, braving the rain, rushed towards the raging river. No one could have predicted that a nighttime storm would bring her so much fear. On that night, everything was as usual, except her fear was escalating bit by bit until it became unbearable. At that moment, Matilda chose to leave him, taking with her the most beautiful memories, taking with her the greatest happiness, choosing to submerge her burning heart in the icy river. Matilda, without hesitation, plunged into the tumultuous waters, leaving behind only a brief note for Anthony. The reason for her suicide was their overwhelming love. Matilda feared growing old and losing her beauty. She believed Anthony treated her too well. Their life was too perfect. She feared losing it all one day. So she wanted to preserve the most beautiful moments like this. Before that day arrived, she chose to go ahead with his love and his passionate kisses. In order to preserve my love for you, I can only choose this way, Matilda wrote in her note. Her supreme pursuit of pure love and the despair that love would eventually vanish led this woman at the peak of happiness to choose to leave this world. After Matilda's departure, Anthony felt utterly desolate in the barber shop, gazing at the familiar yet changed surroundings. The next day, Anthony opened the barbershop's door as usual. He sat on the sofa, playing a crossword puzzle. As if waiting for Matilda to return, at that moment, an Egyptian man entered the barbershop. They sat on the sofa together, waiting for the female hairdresser to return. Anthony suddenly asked if he wanted a shampoo after washing his hair. As Anthony went to fetch the scissors, he habitually put in the cassette tape. Music began to play. He couldn't help but start dancing. The customer was also infected by the mood, dancing along with him. They danced their hearts out, releasing their repressed souls. Anthony performed the quirky dance he had loved since childhood. The Egyptian man couldn't conceal his surprise. "This is our dance. How did you learn it?" Anthony didn't answer, but continued with his steps. When the music stopped, Anthony sat back down on the sofa, continuing his crossword puzzle. "She'll come back," he said. Happiness had passed, and so would the pain for Anthony. In the tranquil French sunshine, the world was reduced to a vast emptiness. Outside the window, the sun shone brightly, just like an ordinary afternoon in the past. Alas, he would never see his beloved again. Anthony was accustomed to living in cherished memories. He would often travel back to his carefree childhood, or think of their wedding day from the money Matilda collected from previous customers. On that day, Matilda didn't charge a single customer. In this love story, Matilda chose an extreme way to freeze love at its most beautiful moment. Every person struggling in pain was still alive, yet those at the peak of happiness suddenly perished. What a baffling conclusion. In our lifetime, we strive to pursue happiness, but when happiness finally arrives, some people choose to end it all for fear of the pain of loss. All right, the story is over. See you in the comments section.